introduce yourselves and your role in the films that we've just seen, please.
Sure. James Fox, director of I Won't Be Long.
Lee Thompson, writer of I Won't Be Long.
Debbie Lane, I made Conkers for the Brave, which was Tony's concept film for.
Yeah, so Conquest for the Brave and the other animated film are both scenes from The Witches of the Sand.
What is The Witches of the Sands? How would you describe it to us, Tony?
Okay, so basically it's, The Witches of the Sands is sort of Monty Python meets The Evil Dead meets The Office. It's a sort of film, it's a love letter for horror fans, basically.
Mm-hmm. And where does Conquest for the Brave fit into all of this?
I really wanted a stop motion scene in the film because I grew up watching Ray Harryhausen films, and I wrote a haiku, which is it's a Japanese poem with 17 syllables, 5 syllables, 7 and 5. And it lent itself really well to what I thought would be a great stop motion piece. And I saw Debbie's previous film that Hold On See, and I basically got in touch with her and said, can you help me out?
How did you get into stop motion in the first place, Debbie?
I just thought it looked fun, so.
Is it fun, or is it a real pain in the arse?
It's both. No, it is both. I just decided the first film that Tony's talking about is called All Consumed, and it was one I just decided to have a go at. I had no experience of stop motion or anything at all. I just thought, let's see how that goes. So obviously when Tony said about doing this, what turns out to be Conkers for the Brave, my initial reaction was, make sure you have seen what I have done before, because it is not slick and it's not like Aardman's quality or Harryhausen or anything like that, but it is kind of simple.
But that's what I loved about what Debbie did. Her enthusiasm came across in everything she was doing, and that's kind of what Witches of the Sands is embracing. It's people working together and using what they've got, and I just love what Debbie had done. And like I say, it's about the enthusiasm, and the results I thought were fantastic, and the attention to detail and things, really excited me, and that's why I asked Debbie to do it.
Debbie, give us an idea of how long. I mean, what was the run time? 8 or 9 minutes? Yeah. So for 8 or 9 minute shorts, how many hours of making is that, or how many shots?
That one, I think, obviously I don't do it full time or anything, I have to work and all of that. Conkers for the Brave took me 6 months to do. Obviously it wasn't constantly doing it, but it probably took about 2.5 months of making before I could start. So I had to obviously make the shack, make the puppets, make all the bits and pieces, and then the way I kind of put it together, I will just go out and film a shot and then edit it down, edit the little shots together and film the next one, edit. So it's not like I film everything and then edit everything afterwards, because I kind of need to do it because of the way I work. I can't go backwards. It has to go from the first scene right through to the end scene, because obviously as soon as the blood comes out, things start getting stained. You can't redo a shot after that, because they don't have spare sets of clothes or other floors or tables that you can use. Once they're mucky, that's it. So it took 6 months to make Conkers for the Brave, but obviously not all the time, every day kind of thing. So.
Tony, your short as part of Witches that you played, Most Extraordinary Swim?
Yeah.
How does that fit into your overall project?
So basically, we filmed a scene in Essex, in Trish's. Where's Trish's house? Everyone. Billericay. There you go. Everyone's filmed there now. It's an amazing place. You go to these gates, and it all comes. It's like old caravans and sort of tin or iron doors, just bizarre kind of old school kind of vibe to it. It's old caravans and things. So basically, we transformed that into a sort of what's the word? South Carolina, hillbilly type vibe. And we had a vintage car there and Lara was playing the Maharaja, and we had a sort of squid woman, and I really wanted the car to fly at the end of it. And we wanted to get it into the studio, but that just proved logistically quite hard. So I just had basically said, well, let's animate it, you know. So we had this bizarre animation stem from that. So a lot of the images you see in that film are bits from Witches of the Sands. Okay. So you know, but then animated in bizarre and surreal ways. Yeah.
Is this the first time you've ever done animation yourself?
First time.
That you've done the animation yourself?
Oh no, it wasn't me. It was Mark Stewart. I have no technical ability in any way, shape or form. So I got great people to kind of work with my bizarre ideas. Mark Stewart, he's great. He did Jonathan Zorin's opening credits for Wyvern Hill, for example, and I knew him from that. And he's currently working on Lauren Barnett's. My girlfriend, animation as well, which is great. I gave him the ideas, very much like working with Debbie. I said, well, this is kind of what I'm thinking. Then Debbie went off and did her own thing, and I provided Mark with some images and ideas and the general outline, and we chatted about it, and he'd sort of say, this is what I've done so far, and you know, what do you think? And we went from there, yeah.
Have you got ambitions to do more stop motion? Have you got the bug now, or you not?
Yes, I'm recently finished one called The Process. That's quite a long one. It's 22 minutes, 22 seconds, so that took even longer.
It was fantastic.
Thank you. Yes, that premiered at Horror on Sea this year as well. Literally only just about managed to get it finished for that. That was more of a sci-fi horror and kind of went a bit more gory, a bit harsher. I was quite liking a couple of people that wrote little reviews. I think what was something like, I can't even remember what it was, but it was kind of, you know, like violent, gory, or that kind of thing, which was quite nice. And yeah, I just started for about the last 5 weeks, started building a set for a new one, which is going to be one of the segments for the new video shop, Tales of Terror. So one of those, yeah, literally in the early stages of building the props and stuff. So I imagine I'm going to be another 2 months or so building before I can get started, but I think it's probably going to take a similar amount of time. It's going to be shorter, obviously, because it's a segment for the anthology, but building and everything takes the same amount of time because you've still got to do the whole set, regardless of how long the story is.
Tony, I spoke to you very briefly yesterday, and I said to you, are you sure this Witches of the Sand thing, is it actually real, or is it like the greatest hoax job in the world? And there's no, yeah, it's the biggest like promo ever for no actual film. In serious, when is it ready? When are we going to be able to see it?
So we shot in the Free Sprite studio we use in Rochford, Duncan studio, weekend before last. We built the set Friday, Saturday, Sunday we shot. We've got one scene in a pub, and then we've got a couple of studio scenes left, and then that's principal done. So we are pretty much done.
You sure you won't find another segment that you want to...
I'm not. No, that's it. I promise you. There may well be pickups and bits and pieces we have to kind of, you know, sort of snoogle in. But I don't know what that word snoogle is, but it's like snoogle. We're going to snoogle it in. But that's kind of, it's pretty much done then. Yeah. I should just say, actually, it's funny enough, Lee, because I lived in Whitstable and Canterbury, and Lee came down from our sets and, as one of our shoots and shot the restaurant scene. Did some sort of behind the scenes photography.
Yeah, I'm a photographer as well. So.
And bizarrely, we had Lawrence Harvey, obviously from Human Centipede, in it, and Simon Bamford from Hellraiser, who was also, you just saw in Mosaic, which is where I met him, which was really good fun as well. So there's another little connection.
So I can confirm it is real. The film is real.
So it is real. Yeah, it is real. It is real. I mean, you know, it is happening. I swear down.
As the kids say.
A street.
Thank you all so much for submitting your film and coming here to represent it and answering questions and being called Conkers. I'm sorry again for that. Can we have a round of applause, please, for our film? Thank you very much. Thank you.